Hey guys, TD Atwood here. Hey, it's kind of raining, so it's kind of got me undercover here. There's some of my fishing poles up there. What I'm doing is I'm starting to get set for going over to the Intercoastal tomorrow. We're gonna go over there and give it a whirl, see what we can catch. I kind of thought I'd show you what I'm using and how I'm setting up. And maybe it'll help you out if you decide to go over there. Okay? So start with, I'll show you my rod and reels. Okay, I told you before I was partial to an ugly stick. This is a 9-footer. I think it's got 20-pound test on it. And then this one is a 7-footer. And it's a little more stout, but I'm sure it's not any better, not one bit better than the ugly stick. But then I'll show you how I set up. Get a good size sinker. Well, I'll just show you the setup down here. In my tackle box, it'll be easier. This is what I put on. Salt water. It's got the weight. It's got steel leaders. Okay, you want steel leaders over there. And then you want to use these circle hooks. And I got a bunch of these. Okay, so I'll put the circle hooks on. Circle hooks make it easier to hook the fish and to unhook. And then I got a couple other baits that I'll be casting. Then over here, what I got is one of these little mover things, like 12 by 18, and I will put my cooler on top of that. Okay, and then everything else that goes in it, I'm gonna have a knife. I'm gonna have my pliers, of course. You wanna have those. I'm gonna have a hammer. And the reason I'm gonna have a hammer is because I'm taking a couple pieces of PVC. They're a little better than 2 feet long. And what you do with these over on the surf, then what you do is you pound them into the ground or into the sand, and they may not be long enough. I may need to take a longer one, but anyways, you pound those into the sand, and once you cast out, then you slide your rod into those. The rods stick up in the air, and when it does, then and that way it's holding it for you. You don't have to hold all the time. You can keep an eye on the top of your pole to see if it flutters or anything when you get a bite, and it just makes it a lot easier. That way, if you're not up and casting, then you can just sit there and kind of watch them and watch and see what your baits do. And I think with one of my rods, I'm going to be casting to start with, and the other one will pick up some bonita or something like that and use for bait. And we'll put it on that rig that I showed you, and we'll just cast that out and let that go to the bottom, and just let it, depending on what way the tide is, whether it's coming in or whether it's holding or if it's going down, you know, then that'll tell you which way your bait's gonna go when it's out there. But anyways, and then also I'm gonna take a backpack. And the reason I'm taking a backpack because on the way I'm going to stop for, I'll get a bag of ice, and then I'll get my bait, and then if I get some fish, then they'll go in the cooler, and so then I'll have to have a place to put all my other things to bring back without having to make 2 or 3 trips where I'm going from the car to where I'm fishing. And so I'll put the other stuff in the backpack, my baits and lures and that stuff. And then also I'll take a chair and I'll take an umbrella, so I can kind of be out of the sun. But that's pretty much what I'm going to take out to the Intercoastal. Now I've also got another rod and reel in there. My son likes to take the closed-face reel, and I've got a Zebco 888 reel in there, and it's a closed-face reel. It's heavy duty. It'll reel in any fish that you can get on out there. And the only difference in that and these open face, in fact I still do it with the open face, is when you get done fishing saltwater, or the Intercoastal, they call it brackish water. When you get done, you got to wash these reels off, especially that closed face. That closed face, you gotta open it right up and spray it down real good. Get that salt out of there. And then another thing that you want to be careful of when you're surf fishing is that you don't set that reel down in the water at all, because if you do, you're going to get sand in it, because there's a bunch of sand that is going through with the current. So keep that rod and reel out of the water, and that's why I say we put it in these pieces of PVC to hold it up there. And anyways, hopefully we catch some good fish over there, and we'll get some more videos for you of doing that. It's going to be my first time back over to the Intercoastal in a while, and so it's going to be just like brand new fishing for me again. So anyways, I will let you know how I do, and if I get any fish, I'll show you. All right? Okay. Have a good day, okay?